Well, hello, everybody. My name is Francisca Reyes. I'm the campus director of Blackstone LaunchPad, and we're here in attendance with Tammy Tucker that she graciously accepted our participation with the Veterans Resource Center. And also in attendance is the entrepreneur resident, Jay Kadowaki. And it's a great honor for me to share this information with you guys so you can learn a little bit more about the Office of Technology Partnerships, because we provide a wide range of services to entrepreneurs despite their backgrounds. So we're here to support you. Today, we're gonna have a session full of resources for you, but please remember that we're here to help you. So if you have any questions or comments, please contact us and we can continue the conversation. So I'll pass it to Jay Kadowaki so he can tell us a little bit more about his experience.
Hey, thank you, Francis. So my name's Jay Kadowaki. So hopefully I can give you a little bit of sense as to, kind of my journey and certainly my direct interaction with the Office of Technology Partnerships at UCR. So my background is I'm a Naval Academy grad, have 2 masters, both those were through the Navy as well, Naval Postgraduate School and also Naval War College. So I had a 30-year career. 20 of that was on the operational side, mostly on ships. So 7 different ships, everything from small hydrofoils operating out of the Key West to 2 aircraft carriers out of Japan. The last part of my career, say the last 10 years of my career, was on the program management acquisition side of the Navy. So basically the business side of the Navy. So to get a pretty broad view as to not only how things work at the end user level, but also at the how you execute contracts and how you deliver warfighting capability as well. So again, did that for about the sum total of 30 years across multiple East Coast, West Coast, Asia, as well as Europe, Middle East, etc. So anyway, got pretty broad background within industry. I've had the honor of being able to serve both with a women-owned small business, which was my first opportunity outside of the Navy, where I was a VP running the federal programs, consulting practice, business development. Spent about 5 years on the IT side, selling IT product solutions and services back into the Marine Corps and the Navy, as both an account executive and also as a business development director. Currently, I'm in a VP role for sales and marketing with a aerospace company here in San Diego. We do airborne video downlink systems, and we've got an international sales market work in the commercial space as well. So my entrepreneurial background is, as Francis said, I'm an EIR with UCR, and really it's been a really honor to be part of the OTP, because the Office of Technology Partnerships, because really the things that each and every one of you bring to the table, again, in different forms and capacities, is something unique, and it's a value add to whatever ecosystem you might be interested in participating in. Again, entrepreneurship takes on many forms. You can be a startup, you can be an entrepreneur within a particular space, you can be an entrepreneur within a large organization. Again, it's a label, but it's again how you approach a business and how do you get from point A to point B, or point A to point Z, I should say, across that whole expanse and along the way. So, currently in the CIR role, I'm able to work directly with companies who are trying to figure out how to commercialize their technology, and be able to take their IP to the marketplace, start businesses. But at the end of the day, part of my interest in being part of this great ecosystem is you want to be able to bring the best and brightest, especially within the Department of Defense, to the capabilities we have. So each and every one of you in the audience, as veterans, are bringing that. You're bringing something unique to the table and have different drives and ambitions. So again, my journey has been my own unique journey, but again, it gives that broad expanse, and certainly please feel free to use me as a resource. There's a lot that I do not understand, but I am plugged into this really great UCR ecosystem, and I'm really happy to share and get you connected and things are going on. So I apologize, Francis, that's probably way too long and way too boring of an intro. But with that, I'll go ahead and be quiet, and you can get on with the program. Thank you.
No, thank you, Jay, for your service and very warm introduction to this presentation. And as you said, all of the veterans have very interesting and very valuable talents that they can bring into any organization. And that is also the part of this presentation, thinking not only about the possibility of starting your own business, but also that you can be a very, very important team member or participant of any organization in any capacities. So with that said, let's move on to what we're going to talk about today. One of the things that I'm really passionate about, it's about entrepreneurship. And I like this definition about entrepreneurship because it has very important words. One is that we are always looking for opportunities. So having that mindset of like always looking for ways of improving things. Another word that I like there is to introduce or improve value to others. So sometimes we think that it's only about us or like making money, but it's also like how we can improve our communities. So that's why I put this definition, because it has, as I say, very valuable things there and very important elements about entrepreneurship. Another thing that we do at the Office of Technology Partnerships is demystifying who could be an entrepreneur. And because of that, we have clarify what are the types of entrepreneurships that we help with. One is obviously profit driven. And that means the ones that are like with the intention of selling products or services. And obviously, sometimes we have social entrepreneurship. And those are the ones when we have very passionate about solving social problems. Entrepreneurs is like probably most of us do when we work in organizations and we have the ability to help within the organization, being agents of change. And solopreneurs is when you are doing your own gig, like you're by yourself and you're actually wearing so many hats and you're the marketer, the salesperson, the one that does the cleaning and cleans in order, so many things. Yeah, so it's a very interesting way of getting into entrepreneurship. So a little bit about my program. Blackstone LaunchPad, it's a network of 46 universities that are in 8 states. And basically what that means is that Blackstone, it's a foundation that invited California, the University of California system, to be part of this to promote entrepreneurship among the students. So I'm very proud of being the one that represents that network here in Riverside. So the mandate, as I told you, of this program is that we provide resources for the students at all the stages of their business idea. It doesn't really matter of their backgrounds, or if they're undergrad students or graduate students, or they are non-traditional students, meaning that you don't attend school full time. It's okay because we help everybody. So in my program, we do 4 main things. Like the first one is obviously like today offer so many resources available for entrepreneurs. We also do program and funding. Basically that intention is that I organize and I promote many student entrepreneurship competitions or other types of activities, particularly for student entrepreneurs. Funding is also including, and it's available for most of the Office of Technology Partnership programs that we help, as I said, in all stages of the entrepreneurship ventures, this journey. We start even from the ideation into more advanced stages of this business formation. We also do one-on-one mentoring, like for example, Jay and I, most of the time also spend some time guiding entrepreneurs and giving them some advice on to what are the next steps and what are the actions that they need to better their business idea and polish their business idea with the intention that they have a higher success rate. And like today, we're doing workshops and networking events so that way we can promote entrepreneurial educations here at UCR. So you already met Jay right here, but basically when we're talking about the entrepreneurs in residence, I want you to take note about them because they're very experienced individuals. Right now, we have 20 entrepreneurs in residence that have different backgrounds, different ways of life. And then, but one of the things that the entrepreneur in residence offers is valuable industry connections and experience. And Jay has already shared his experience with us, but there's so many others that can do that for you guys. So they can give you a little bit more of insight about what happens in the industries of their expertise. So please consider that. If you have a business idea, you can contact me, and then I can put you in contact with other entrepreneurs in residence.
Hey, Francis, can I share something really quick?
Sure, yes, please.
Yeah, so what the other thing I would say is, I'm the DOD EIR, so that's my expertise. My expertise is within the defense space. But again, you might have a passion to do something. Let's say you're coming from a particular vocation and you're trying to really do something new, something you haven't done before. Again, it's going to be a comfortable conversation to talk to someone like myself, because we probably speak a similar language. But the other thing I would recommend with the EIR group is reach out to myself, or Francis can do this as well. But again, reach out to one of us, and we are well connected to get you in front of the right person. And I have been personally blown away with just the caliber of expertise that the EIRs bring to the table. I've got my level of expertise, but it's across all those different industries that were demonstrated there. So again, figure out where the entry point is, and you don't have to be any more creative than reaching out to one of us on this call, and then let us know how we can point you in the right direction. And again, it's a available resource, and it really is a free resource to get you pointed in the right direction. So again, I think if there's nothing else that you take away from this discussion, is at least try and figure out one of those players that you might want to connect with, to at least probe and explore something that might be of interest. So thank you.
Thank you, Jay. So another thing, very briefly, let me just go back, tell you a little bit of all the resources that we have at your disposal at the Office of Technology Partnerships. We have a creative lab, a makerspace over there at the library, at the Orbach Science Library. And also there you have equipment so you can do 3D printing or help you a little bit with your prototype in case that you are building a product. We also have an office of the Small Business Development Center that they can also provide you with more mentorship and assistance. As I told you, the Office of Technology Partnership, we have assistance for business formation, for intellectual property, and also for commercialization. We also are right now doing the National Science Foundation I-Corps, and those are for programs that are still doing customer discovery. We have also what we know as an incubator. So that is a place where you can rent in a more affordable sense. So you don't have to go risk and start like your business and renting a big office or anything like that. An incubator gives you the opportunity of more affordability, and then it gives you the space where you can connect with other entrepreneurs. And also we have vertical venture partners, so that it's also an additional funding opportunity, so you can get in contact with investors that they can fund your business. So very briefly, we're gonna go through this journey because there's so many elements and we can spend hours and hours talking about them. So the first step for starting your business will be identifying your idea, or where your customers will be, or what will make your product or service so unique. Most of the time we talk about this is like your value proposition. What makes you so great? And this is more of a reflection process. And sometimes when we're doing mentoring, we spend a lot of time trying to do that discovery. It's like, I want to do this business. It doesn't really matter what it is, if it's related to the armed forces or if it's not. What will make you so unique? Obviously, you propose so many talents, and having a strong team is actually very key in this, but it's like, what will make your business so distinctive? The next step is probably, and when we spend also a lot of time in our mentoring sessions, is like, write a little bit of your business model canvas. That is a one-page document that has 9 blocks that covers most of your business idea. Or you can do a business plan. And that is most of the time putting in paper all the elements for running your business. The business model canvas, as I said, it ends up in one page, but the business plan, it's a longer document. So most of the time it's just thinking about who's going to be your customer, who's going to be your competitor, where in what market you're going to be at. And also if you see any risks getting into this market, and also the opportunities for growth. So it's a very reflexive and sometimes a busy process. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to discover what elements we're going to put in those documents. But as I said, most of the time in our mentoring sessions, that's what we do. We guide you guys to complete these documents so that when you're ready for the next step, you are prepared to answer all these questions, like who's going to be your customer, who's going to be your main competitor, who's going to be an ally in your journey. And then as like the third question is like, how are you going to fund your business? You obviously will need money to start a business, but sometimes we have our own money. Or if you don't have your own money, it's like what vehicles you're going to use for this. It's either that you're going to ask your friends or your family to pitch in and help you with that. Or if you're gonna actually go and borrow money, let's say from a financial institution, or if you wanna actually seek funding from a venture capitalist or an investor. Or if you decide to go crowdfunding, and that's another platform where you can go and ask for like many people to pitch in so that you can have enough funds to do this. So that is a very important decision. And obviously all these choices have the pros and the cons that you have to explore. The next one is pick your business model and location. When we're talking about business model, sometimes you can hear about this as a brick or mortar. Basically, it's like a traditional business when you go over there to a store and you buy things face to face, or if you want to do e-commerce, basically like Amazon, like you just buy everything on the internet. Or if you want to decide to go in another process, let's say like a franchise, or if you want to buy an existing business. The location, it could be virtual, like I say, in e-commerce, or you can say, oh, I'm going to do business for everybody in the US or in the world. But you need to pick a location because later on we have to go through certain regulations. So most of the time, I advise people that pick the location where you're going to do most of your business. So you're saying, oh, I'm going to just stay here in California because most of my customers are here in California. Or I'm going to move to New Mexico because I want to be in the middle of the Southwest. What is the location that's best for you? Or if you're right now with technology, you're like, it's pretty much easier to pick a location and then do business with other states or other countries, but still important. Now, this one, it's more about, sometimes in business education, we think about what is the business structure that you want to pick. Here, this refers to is like if you want to be just you, and that is what we know as sole proprietor. Basically, it's just like, okay, you're doing this as probably like a side gig. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you know what? I do a little bit of graphic design on the side. So I still have my job, but those are, additional things that I do. And so you can continue doing sole proprietorship. You can also do partnerships. Let's say that you and some other people get together to start your business. And in the partnerships, so you have to declare like who has more responsibility and who's in charge, and then what are the roles and responsibilities of each of the partners. The next one obviously are based on liability, and those are the limited liability partnerships. What that means is that in case that you have, that dissolves the business, you don't have, or if somebody files a lawsuit against you, you personally don't have any responsibility. It's the company that carries that responsibility, that liability. So your you are protected and your personal assets are protected. And then the next one is the corporations. And corporations, obviously, we're talking about a different setting. And you can do also a limited liability corporation. But there's other types out there that are more complicated. But because of the time, and we're just going to say that you can also do a regular corporation, an S Corp, and that S Corp is only for tax purposes because that way you avoid double taxation. Or you can do a B Corp. Like in your cases, you probably have a combination of something that is mission driven and profit driven. Let's say that you want to start a business and you only want to hire veterans like yourself. So you can create a B Corp because that way you're saying, I'm trying to do something for the benefit of a group and also continue buying and selling products or services. So there's so many business structures out there. All of them have pros and cons, and we can review them with you, which one is the one that is the best fit for your business idea. Now, the next step is obviously a little bit daunting because nowadays, because of the internet, you have to identify what is going to be your name, probably your logo, and all those things. The reason why you have to do this and explore is because you cannot have the same name as another business because you can create a conflict that later on can have legal implications. So there is where you have to be a little bit creative and identify a name that represents your mission, what you're trying to do, but also that there's not other business with that name. And then once you have all those structures, you can move on to the next step. Obviously, go over there now to do all the state and federal regulations. Basically, go to the federal, the IRS and get your federal ID tax number and also your state ID number. But remember that when I ask you to pick your location for your business, this is because every single state has different ways of doing the state regulations. So some of them have easier process than others. So that's why you need to identify what is the state where you're locating your business at and follow the guidelines that they have established for that particular state. And as I said, nowadays, because businesses are so important, all the states are putting a lot of effort to make this more comprehensive and easier for you to do. The next thing is also based on the nature of your business. So let's say that you are going to do something related to the armed forces. Maybe there you're going to have specialty licenses and permits, or maybe you still have to go through some kind of security clearance or things like that. But then also you will require different types of insurance because of it. And also this varies by industry and location. So each state has very specific regulations for these types of businesses. Or sometimes you require licenses, or you need to actually get educated and trained to get licenses for very specific occupations and tasks. But because you already have a lot of experience doing many tasks, maybe you already have those licenses, or maybe you have the knowledge. So getting a license will be very easy for you. The next one is, the question is like, are you going to have employees? If you're going to hire somebody else, then you'll have to get an employee identification number. And then you also have to get familiarized with labor law, because now you're going to have to think not only about you and your safety, but also the safety of others. So you'll have to probably start working on learning a little bit about human resources, how you're going to do training for them, how you're going to actually pay taxes for your employees and pay Social Security and also insurance and workman compensation. So many other things that we can help you with. Also, another resource, and I'll share this with Tammy, is comes from the Cal Chamber. The calchamber.com, they have a very helpful list of resources. And over there, they actually have a labor law hotline, and also they can help you setting up all these processes for you so you comply with labor law, at least for the state of California. And also at the end, before you get ready to do this, I mean, you can open a bank account. This actually has to go back to your business structure. If you are doing this by yourself, you can just go to any bank and say, I want to open a checking account, and you can do one that says doing business as or DBA and just put your business name. In the other times, if you pick another business structure, you have to show proof that your company has already been registered and established to the bank. So the financial institution has all the proper records for that. And then that's it, you're ready to launch. So I'm gonna pause. I don't know if Jay wants to add something to this.
No, I'm good. That was a great overview. Thank you.
Okay, well, here's where maybe Jay can help us a little more. The veterans like you have so many other resources available to you. But it got so dark outside. I was just like, what happened? And the light turns off automatically. Well, the first thing that for business, I mean, for veterans that want to get into businesses, it's a program called Boots to Business. And that is actually facilitated by the Small Business Association. So basically they offer entrepreneurial education and training. So the idea is that they help service members to do the transition from, as I say, service to civilian life. The next one is from the Small Business Administration, the Veterans Business Outreach Center. And that one also provides entrepreneurial development services, but these ones they do it more in detail. They help you with your business plan, they do a little bit of mentoring, and they also connect you with additional resources and even with funding. So they can connect you with the Small Business Administration, small business loans. And then finally, and I think this is very important for you and aligns completely to what Jay was saying at the beginning, the VA's Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization it actually has a mandate that the federal government has to award small businesses a fair proportion of total VA property, service purchases, contracts, and subcontracts. So basically, all of you, if you start a business, you have a possibility of being a contractor or subcontractor or a supplier to the government. So that opens so many possibilities for you guys to continue having a relationship with the government. And with that said, one of the things that sometimes people ask me about is like, do you need to be a vet first verification program or getting the certification? Well, it is highly advised that if you start a business, you get this certification because that will give you actually the green line to connect to this program because they will ask you to be certified so you can become a supplier or a contractor or subcontractor. One of the requirements to be certified in the Vet First verification program is that your business is run mainly by you, by a veteran. And what they mean that is that you have to be at least 50% owner of the business, and you also active in the business daily operations. So it's either you are the one that's doing the sales, you're the ones that doing the product development and all those things. Other piece of, I guess, regulations and documentation that you need to comply with is that you need to create or get a DUNS number. And that is when you want to do contracting with the government or pretty much with any agency nowadays. And that is something that you can do in that link that is right there in the presentation. You just put your information, your business name and all those things. And with that DUNS number, you can start, applying for, some contracts. And then the last one, it's actually now the government is doing this transition of doing all this contracting and all the procurement or buying things from small businesses using the system for award management or SAM. So you need to get actually register and get a SAM number there. So that way you ensure the government that you have, got all your, business register and you provide all that information so that way they can list you over there as a part of a supplier, contractor, or subcontractor. So with that, that ends my presentation. That's my contact information. As I said, I'm here at your service. If I can help you with anything related to your business, it doesn't really matter if it's for profit or for not profit, or if it's not really technical. So here, that's my information. So I'm gonna stop right here the presentation. So I don't know if Jay would like to add something else.
No, I think the last thing I'll just add is that I think for the group out there, and I can't see the group out there, but I would imagine it's like many veterans groups, it's extremely diverse. So again, you think about the diversity that we want to bring to the workplace. A lot of that is diversity of thought, and within and across all the businesses I've had the opportunity to be able to be part of. The things that you bring to the table are going to be very meaningful. And I think the fact that you're probably listening in this conversation is there's some nugget of interest in the back of your head that you'd like to go figure out how to do something and lead a team that's your own. So I'd encourage you to tap into the resources that are available to you. There is an incredible number of resources available to you. You have this and great opportunity as well through UCR, but then you get into the state resources and federal resources. It's really just wherever you want your knowledge to end. That's really you can take it to those limits. So really great to be able to spend some time with you today. And again, I wish you the best of luck in your journey.
Thank you, Jay, for that. I really appreciate it. So I guess we were the only ones in attendance in the Zoom call. So I'm just gonna end this Zoom conversation. But if the veterans have any questions or comments, I'll share them with you later on. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. All right. Take care. Thank you. Thank you for letting me participate. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.